Once upon a time, in a quaint village surrounded by a dense, magical forest, there lived a clever girl named Emily. Emily had a curious mind and a kind heart, and she loved exploring the forest near her home. The forest was known as the Enchanted Forest because it was filled with talking animals, shimmering flowers, and trees that whispered ancient secrets. One evening, as the sun was setting and the moon began to rise, Emily noticed something unusual. The moon, usually full and bright, was missing a sliver of its light. A small crescent-shaped piece seemed to have vanished. Concerned, Emily decided to visit the forest to see if anyone there knew what had happened to the moon. As she entered the enchanted forest, the trees bent their branches to greet her, and the flowers glowed softly in the twilight. Emily made her way to the wise old owl who lived in the tallest tree in the forest. The owl was known for his vast knowledge of the forest and the sky. "Wise owl," Emily called up, "the moon is missing a piece of its light. Do you know what happened?" The owl hooted softly and fluttered down to Emily's shoulder. Young Emily, it seems that the moonbeam responsible for that piece of light has wandered away. The moonbeams are delicate and shy, and sometimes they get lost if they stray too far from the moon." Emily frowned. "How can we find it? The moon needs its light." The owl nodded wisely. "The moonbeam will only come back if someone kind and gentle calls it. You must go to the Moonlit Clearing in the heart of the forest. There, you can summon the moonbeam and guide it back to the sky." Without hesitation, Emily set off on her journey deeper into the enchanted forest. The path was lit by soft, glowing mushrooms and tiny fireflies that danced around her. Along the way, she met a family of deer, a group of chattering squirrels, and a fox with fur that sparkled like the stars. Each of them wished her luck on her quest. Finally, Emily reached the Moonlit Clearing. The clearing was bathed in a gentle, silver light, and in the center stood a small, shimmering figure, the lost moonbeam. It was curled up like a tiny, glowing ribbon, looking sad and lonely. Emily approached the moonbeam carefully. "Hello, little moonbeam," she whispered. "Are you lost?" The moonbeam lifted its tiny head and blinked at her with a faint glow. "Yes," it replied in a voice as soft as a breeze. "I wandered too far from the moon, and now I can't find my way back." Emily smiled warmly. "Don't worry. I'm here to help you. The moon is missing a piece of its light without you. Will you let me guide you back?" The moonbeam twinkled softly, its light growing brighter. "I would like that," it said. Emily gently held out her hand, and the moonbeam floated up to her palm. With careful steps, she began the journey back to the edge of the forest, all the while whispering kind words to the moonbeam to keep it calm. As they neared the edge of the forest, the moonbeam started to glow more brightly, eager to return to the sky. When they reached the open field near Emily's village, she looked up at the moon, which was still missing its crescent. "It's time to go home," Emily said softly to the moonbeam. The moonbeam twirled happily in her hand before rising into the air. It floated higher and higher until it rejoined the moon, filling the missing piece with its bright light. The moon now shone fully, casting a silvery glow over the village and the enchanted forest. As the moonlight bathed the land, the forest creatures all celebrated Emily's success. The wise old owl hooted in approval, and the trees rustled their leaves in a gentle applause.